Welcome. You're listening to
Off the page.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Sewon.
Turns out it's already 10:30.
Yeah.
Well, our usual recording time, it starts at 9. But yeah, I asked Michelle to push it back for like 15 minutes. And then, yeah, we started to do some chapdam, like a private chapdam.
Yeah.
And it went on for like an hour, like more than an hour, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But it's kind of 아까워 to just, wrap up and, just call it a day. So yeah, without any 잡담, we might just dive right into our book for this week, which
Yep.
is
Dazai Osamu's 인간실격 in Korean, and in English it may be translated as no longer human. And I don't know how to pronounce it in Japanese, so I'll just skip it.
yeah. Sure.
인간 실격 몰라요. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually really like how we choose our books these days. It's very random and spontaneous, right?
Yeah. we just spontaneously pick one book out of our mostly out of our 잡담.
It's not like we're not planning ahead or anything, but then we're just out of 잡담, like Michelle said. Suddenly we just wanted to do 인간실격, and that's the book it is this week.
I've never read this book before, like preparing for this podcast, even though the work is so famous, like even among Korean readers as well. And I've heard some of the comments, like famous comments about this 인간실격, something like, this is the most notorious book. And actually, like when I first heard about this book in like when I was in high school or something, and I heard a comment that this book is kind of notorious. I was expecting something like gore or like something kind of like 잔인해. In a disgusting way, maybe. But it was not in that way. But still, it is like the main character, our protagonist, is a disgusting person. It is a very rare case, but I totally cannot agree with this guy.
Not even the deepest inner like fragile feelings that he has. 그런 것도.
Yeah, because I felt like, why does he have to be that fragile? I was thinking about that. Like,
I just wonder, some people are born that way.
Yeah. I agree with that. But, I feel like stop, like, my immediate response was like, stop overthinking about anything. Like, just keep going. Yeah, even though I'm the one, like, I also overthink on some like matters. I do, but this is way too much, I think.
Right. For me, I think I read this book in my late 20s to early 30s, somewhere between that. And like many people when they're in their 20s, they could be very insecure, right?
Yeah.
And there are phases where people think that they are 무가치해, they're kind of worthless.
Yeah.
And therefore I feel very 슬퍼 and like 괴로워 because of that.
Yeah.
So I think I was in that phase, but at the same time I'm a different person than Yozo. So what I kind of, back in those days, I think I kind of mirrored myself to the character. So like it was more like some part of him is somewhat similar to me, and therefore I hate him in that way. For him like that. 그런 거였던 것 같은데. 인간실격. I actually wanted to take this opportunity to reconcile with the character and try to, 그래, 이해한다.
Yeah.
And, because I expect myself to be a little bit more mature because, time has passed.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to be, maybe, we couldn't be friends, but at least I could understand you somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
근데 아니었어.
No.
No, I don't like you. Just go away.
I once told about this to Sewon, during our private conversation, but Yozo, our protagonist, is always evading from everything. 그러니까 회피를 하잖아요.
Yes.
From everything. And I think I can agree with the
sure.
avoiding everything. I can understand that kind of act. But when it comes to the, all the self-explanation, I felt like I was bored. And I was when I was reading those parts that Yozo is why did I do this, or why was I acting like that? I just felt like I'm sleepy. I was almost dozing off once. 그러니까 너무 지루해서 it felt like it was no worth listening to what he was saying actually.
Oh. There was a time when he decided to move into a lady's apartment. He moves into several ladies' apartments.
Yeah.
But then once 누구였더라? 28-year-old lady who works as a publisher at a magazine company.
Yeah.
I think he decides to move in with her. Mm-hmm. And the life goes on, right? And of course, the lady is the breadwinner of the family because he has no ability to make any money or do anything. So, 근데 he's basically 방바닥 긁어 all the time and whining at the same time. And 그래, 다 이해해. 그럴 수 있지. Some people are very fragile and very scared to even step out of the way, out of the door, kind of. 그거 다 이해할 수 있는데, I just got mad at one line. I think it's similar, I think it was something oh, I wish I had, absinthe.
아,
A
맞아.
glass of absinthe. 정신 차려라. 야. 양주 먹고 싶다는 생각이 어떻게 드는 거야, 나는. Yeah.
그래서 so I found it very interesting that the very beginning of the novel, Yojo says something about how he was how he was sensing the world outside as a child. And it was interesting that he couldn't imagine the main purpose of 육교, 그러니까 그 pedestrian overpass.
Yes.
And he thinks so differently that I think even anyone couldn't understand what he was thinking about. 그러니까 그런 점은 it was interesting because 그러니까 if he was thinking in that way from the very early age, I think it can happen. Right. And he can say something I want a glass of absinthe or something like that. 그러니까 약간 인지에 문제가 있어.
맞아.
He has something he has some problems with his sensing.
I think the point where he gets disappointed by Horiki.
Oh yeah.
I was what do you expect from him? Because do you remember the very first time that he meets Horiki? He kind of 무시해 him, right?
Horiki is an immediate douchebag.
Yeah.
There's nothing to expect.
He's the one who has nothing to expect. 자기도 그렇게 생각해놓고는.
Yeah.
When Horiki ignores him and doesn't take care of him when Yojo is in need, he gets disappointed, right? And I was what do you expect from him? You're the one who started, you're the one who, no wonder he has no friends. Yeah. And what do you think about what do you think about his reasoning in trying to avoid when his wife got raped by a merchant? What do you think about that? Like, what was your immediate reaction to that? Like,
아니
너무 열받아가지고 말이 안 나와.
My true immediate response was, I was like, what the F? I was like that. What kind of bastard is this? I was like, my immediate response was that. And I was even confused that, the description of that like specific situation is not very, 그러니까 정확하지 않잖아요. The description is not very clear. And I was even thinking that maybe that wife was,
cheating on him.
Yeah, cheating on him and in relationship with the other older guy. And after that, I figured out that the wife was actually raped by like someone, like some kind of like Yojo's acquaintance. And I was furious about him. I cannot even think of why he was acting like that.
I can't just believe how he decided to get married in the first place.
Yeah.
어떻게 결혼할 생각을 하니? Because, but then it's also understandable by what you said, by he has 인지가 부족해.
Yeah.
Because since he has low meta 인지, and therefore he's very good at observing things and observing situations and people, but at the same time he's very poor at studying himself. And therefore, like, I think if he was smart enough to know that he is incapable of making any relationships, I think he shouldn't have married her. 결혼하지 말아야지. And like I understand that like it was raping thing was inevitable, right? Like it was just things could happen, right?
Yeah.
But then I got so furious about the reaction that his reaction to his wife, because he clearly knows that his wife is very 전전긍긍해. She's very like don't know what to do and like 눈치 봐 a lot, and like he just standing there as a bystander thinking that I'm just really sad that her 순수함, her purity and her virginity is just gone, and now that my wife is no longer the person that I know before. 여보세요?
It's pathetic.
선생님. Oh.
Seriously. Oh, and I wanted to, ask a question about this. Do you think the like main drive of Yojo is like something between self-hatred or self-love? Even narcissism? I'm asking this question because like I've seen a lot of people, debating over whether like Yojo is too narcissistic or like maybe Yojo is like self-hating himself too much. And after reading this one, like 그러니까 내가 직접 in person, like 내가 직접 읽고 나니까 I thought that Yojo's main problem was not something about narcissism or like self-hatred. It was more about the vacancy of self, I thought.
Oh.
Like I felt like he's totally vacant.
I think if there were a spectrum, like if he were to put in between self-hate to self-love, I think he's more towards the
love side.
Because like from what I experienced, like those who 진짜 sincerely hate themselves, hate oneself, they're so into hating themselves, and therefore they have no time to think about others. 내가 너무 싫기 때문에 다른 사람이 어떤지 볼 시간이 없는데, but like those who love themselves, they just say that, oh, I just hate myself for doing this, but at the same time, like, but he has some, I think he has some pride in, like, I think he always makes this comparison between the acquaintances that he knows, and like, and then I slightly have the sense that he feels like he's slightly better Then 뭐 호리키 or 또 요시코 or 뭐 누구든 세스코 whoever that is.
Takechi or whatever. 근데 so like after hearing what you just said, like I can agree that like Yojo is more towards like self-love.
But he's also very empty inside.
Yeah.
Like you said.
I thought that like the main reason why most of the readers hate Yojo is that isn't he like some kind of like hypocrite? Do you remember the like very first sentence of 그 부끄러움이 많은 생애를 살았습니다. Mine has been a life of much shame. After reading through all the like stories of Yojo, and I felt like if he was able to feel shame, how could he done everything that he has gone through?
부끄러움이 아니라 수치 아닐까요?
수치? So it would be more like
because I think 부끄럼 많은 생애를 보였습니다. This line is I don't think it's necessarily from Yojo. I think it's more from the author himself.
다자이 오사무? Because this one is the like more like autobiographical novel. And like from 그 후기? Yeah.
It says that he felt very guilty throughout his life that he's born as a wealthy family and
yeah. And all the other like 99% of the like families in that specific region, they were like really poor. Like they couldn't even afford to like eat any, proper food. But still like 다자이 오사무's like family was so like rich because of the family was working on 그 고리 대금업, loan sharking. The family was into loan sharking thing, so like it was why they were so rich. And the author was so embarrassed about the fact that he was some kind of like wealthy because of the like 그 정의 부정한. Yeah, it is unjust. The money is unjust.
Well, but still, like I don't really get him because, like, if he was that much in shame, and like if he felt sorry for those who don't have that opportunity and resources, why couldn't he like step up and use his resources to do something about it? Then that could have made a lot different. For himself and for the environment. Environment is enough 환경, but then for those who are around him who needs help,
Yeah.
And like I just don't understand that like later in the later part of his life, I don't think this is the exact term, but then he got eliminated by the family, right?
Oh yeah,
like, yeah. And like he felt such a big shame that lovely 막내 as himself is now rejected by his family, kind of. 왜 그렇게 생각하는 거야? Because like in the first place, he wasn't really proud of his family in the first place, right?
Yeah.
And yet he feels so shameful that he's been rejected by the family. I don't really. 그러니까 위선적인 거예요. I think.
Yeah.
Both Yojo and 다자이 오사무.
It was really impressive that when 넙치, do you remember his actual name? I don't remember it.
I don't remember it. What's his name?
넙치 means like it is like flat fish.
The fish.
소부타? I don't know. I'm not sure. 시부타 maybe?
시부타였던 것 같아.
시부타. Like Yojo kind of blames Shibuta for not specifically saying that he would be like accepted by his own family if he goes back to university and so like after that when he becomes a university student, the like father would like give him out the money that he has been granted before. Yojo blames for like I couldn't understand why Yojo was blaming Shibuta for that. 왜? 그러니까 Shibuta very specifically says that you have to decide for your own life at this stage. Like, it is so, like, 그러니까 너무 맞나? It is so correct.
Because Yojo cannot take any criticism from anyone. It's such a shock for him. 너무 쇼킹한 거지. Like, he doesn't want to listen to any of the bad stuff or the bad, comments. That just immediately makes him feel very 숨고 싶고 막 도망치고 싶고.
Actually, I was looking up on Dazai Osamu's picture because, Yojo, the protagonist's appearances are, like, mentioned several times in the novel. And when he was, like, I think he was, like, during when he was in his late teenage days or, like, 20s or early 30s, I think he was kind of handsome, Yojo.
I think Dazai Osamu is handsome.
진짜? 근데 나 잘 모르겠어.
I think he's
근데 어쨌든, like, I was looking up on the web for the Dazai Osamu's picture because I heard that this novel is autobiographical. And, like, being a handsome guy, I think it kind of negatively affected Yojo and Dazai Osamu, both of them. 그렇지 않아요? Like, they can take advantage of
girls.
Yes.
근데 that just doesn't really justify his behaviors because 잘생겨도 멀쩡한 사람 많으니까.
But still, like, I think his appearances, maybe it was like one of the reasons that made him live like that. Like, stay in the, like, that status of life.
I feel pity for him for being sexually harassed by one of his servants in his early
servants
days.
or maids when he was young.
Do you think that could have shaped his characteristics? But not necessarily, but like because like in the description, like he was born that way, right? Like from his very very young age, he doesn't really know how to make a proper relationship with his family members, right? So that's what Iksar comes in, right?
Yeah, the jest thing. I mean, but still, it really makes it hard to, separate Dazai Osamu and Yojo because, like, we all know that this novel is autobiographical one. But still, as you said, Yojo, I think it would be hard to say that the experience of being sexually harassed by his servants, that has shaped Yojo's personalities afterwards. But still, I cannot be sure about Dazai Osamu because, like, the author can be more cruelly self-criticizing himself by creating the character like Yojo. 그래서 잘 모르겠어요. 그러니까 in Yojo's case, I think it is more about natural born problem with his own personality. But still, regarding Dazai Osamu, I cannot be sure. What did you like? How did you think about Yojo's jest or joke thing? Iksar?
I think like also that part also made me sure that it is more about self-love than self-hate.
Yeah.
Because I just can't believe that he's like he has this like he's very sure that his jokes are so perfect that no one would even know that this is intentional or this is on purpose, right? 근데 when kids do their jokes and like do funny moves, people know, right?
Yeah,
이제 가끔 그러니까 저렇게 하려고 하는 거구나, 뭐 귀여움 받으려고 하는 거구나. Like everybody knows. Like I just can't believe that when somebody actually pointed out like you actually did it on purpose, right? And like I can't believe the shock. Is it that much of a shocking thing? 그리고 like I was like even if he was confronted that way, like 야 너 일부러 그랬지 했을 때 like he doesn't even have a gut to say 그래 일부러 그랬다.
Yeah, I did it on purpose. What's the matter? Like he didn't have any guts to say those kind of things to Takeichi.
맞아. Even though he thinks Takeichi is dumb.
Yeah.
이번엔 좀 잘 지내보려고 했는데
Yeah, like,
절대
세원 cannot get along with Yozo.
No, not at all. 이 사람 너무 심각한 사람이야. I just hate this person so much that I already told you like in the afternoon. I even don't like the 표지 of 인간실격. 에곤 실레's work.
Yeah, Egon Schiller's work is included on the most famous version in Korea. 민음사 version.
So every time when someone approaches me like, oh, 에곤 실레 너무 좋아. 에곤 실레 is my favorite. Like, you know, that picture is like the most famous one, right?
Yeah,
제일 유명하잖아요. 그러니까 어쩐지 내가 이 그림이 왜 싫은가 했어. 나는 이 그림 싫거든요. Like in my whole 30s, like whenever people say that, 이 에곤 실레 너무 좋다. 나는 이거 왠지 기시감이 들었어. Like now I know why.
웃겨.
너무 싫어. 진짜 에곤 실레 should sue him. Sue 민음사 for choosing this 표지 for 인간실격. But I do admit that these type of people do exist.
Yeah,
around
they do.
us, right?
But don't you think that specific fact makes even Yojo more, disgusting?
Well, what fact?
그러니까 people like Yojo exist in our real lives.
Oh, yeah.
그래서 더 싫어.
But I do like at the same time like understand why this is such a good literature. And like especially when it was 언제 썼죠 이거를? 48년도?
It was released in 1948.
Yeah, so it was just right after the Second World War. Probably by the time when the war was happening all around the world, like all they talk about is nationalistic things, right? 전체주의, totalitarianism, nationalism.
Yeah.
So when people are all talking about big things and big dreams and big ambitions, like big wars, I think 인간실격 could be a very shocking work for the literature scene at that time because when everybody's talking about 큰 거 얘기할 때, he focused on like human feelings and like inner self, right? So in that sense, that's why 인간실격 makes a good literature, especially during that time. And like I can't really name the specific ones, but then I think some of the Korean literature that I read in the 근대 문학 있잖아요. In the 1910s to 20s, I think I've seen some people like Yozo in Korean literature as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
시리에 빠진, disappointed, don't know what to do, just killing time and like drinking.
For example, like very famous example would be 이상 the Wing, the protagonist of 이상's Wing. 날개
Like I think 그 시대에 the so-called modern boy들, I think it was a general vibe that they had. Like I think the 허무주의 was in trend.
Yeah. Nihilism, yes. And actually, I just found it out that like when this work was released in 1948, it immediately became the bestseller in Japan.
I think like Dazai Osamu's 인간실격 is like the main, like the start of Japan's 사소설, the so-called what's 사소설, the individual novel, like individual
private life novel.
Private life novel. And I think Korean literature these days are more like they're also gravitating towards that way. I think it's very much 많은 부분들이 like very 사소설-like.
Yeah. Even though I kind of like kept saying that I hate Yojo so much, but still like reading this novel, it was really interesting in the perspective of, learning how Japanese people were feeling during the like time of Showa era. It was really interesting because I'm personally very much interested in, Korea's colonial era.
그래요?
Yeah. 근대 조선사에 관심이 많은데, so like I only studied about 조선. Like
Are you talking about? I'm sorry. If you are referring to 그 근대 조선사, are you referring to the time of Mr. Sunshine?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like slightly afterwards, like
Okay.
1930s maybe. 1920s to 1930s, I think. And I only like partly knew about Joseon's like how Joseon culture was in those times. And it was really interesting to read like on the like perspective of modern boy of Japan maybe or some kind of elite maybe. It was really interesting. And also like I never knew that Yozo and Dazai Osamu like fall for the leftist activism. And it was really interesting to see how the left-wing activism in those times were kind of like being a trend among the intellectual. Oh, it was impressive, you know, learning the things that I have never known about Japanese culture, maybe the Japanese history as well. So, like, what did you think about the very last sentence of the novel?
뭐였죠?
제가 불러드릴게요. Just a moment.
요조는 아주 순수하고 장상하고.
야, 우리가 알던 요조는 아주 순수하고 눈치 빠르고 술만 마시지 않는다면 아니 마셔도 하느님같이 착한 아이였어요.
할 말이 없다.
잠시만, 일단 내가 영어 번역을 찾아볼게요.
I think people could definitely say this to Yojo.
Yeah. Because keep
to
going.
to begin with, Yojo is a person who 눈치 봐s a lot, right? And like he instinctively know how to make people feel good, right? Especially women. 여자 기분 좋게 하는 법.
Yeah.
The last thing that he wants to do is to be seen as a bad person, right? He's like the extreme people pleaser type. 그래서 when like unless you try to know him like in a deeper level, I think people could say that 하느님처럼 좋은 사람이었어요. I can get that. I don't agree with it, but then I can get it. I can get the sense.
My ChatGPT offered this translation. The Yojo we knew was such a pure, quick-witted boy. If only he didn't drink. No, even when he did, he was kind, almost like an angel. Like, I agree with Sewon because, you know, and I felt a little bit, like, weird. And also, I couldn't believe that I can partly agree to this sentence, even though I've hated Yojo so much throughout the novel. It was strange.
But from a person's perspective who knows what he really thinks inside him, 기가 찬다. Should we talk about 직소?
Oh yeah, 얘기하고 싶은 게 있어요. Like, do you wanna like talk about anything about the? By the way, how do they translate 직소 in English?
A proposal? Like a direct
appeal. A direct appeal by Dazai Osamu. Since like this very short story is also included in the 민음사 version of.
I totally forgot about it actually.
Of the book as well. I enjoyed it. It was interesting.
So basically, Dazai Osamu is putting himself as a Yuda, right?
Yeah, he does.
And from Yuda's perspective, he's trying to defend himself, kind of, of what he did to Jesus. After reading 직소, like, this could sound really mean. You know, he committed suicide in the end, right? After the fifth trial, he made it. 이 사람은 평생 이랬겠구나. Like, at the same time, like, 많이 힘들었겠다라고 생각했어요. Like, he's constantly blaming others, and like, at the same time, he hates himself for being him, and like, 인간실격 and 직소 has a very similar, they're very much aligned, right?
Yeah. 그러니까 얘기를 좀 더 명확하게 하고 싶어서.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, this was what I felt about the Jigsaw and, like, the Yuda's description in the novel. In the story, that after reading The No Longer Human, after finishing that, I was, like, kind of emotionally drained. Like, after hearing all the Yojo's whining and complaining about his life, I was drained. And I ended up approaching this, Jigsaw almost like a historical document. Because, like, the only thing I know about Christianity in Japan was that it is not the dominant religion in Japan. And also, I kind of, learned about 가쿠레 기리시탄?
What is it?
그 천주교 박해?
Oh, in Japan?
Yeah, in Japan. In, like, around 19th century, I think. And those two are the only fact that I know about Christianity in Japan. So I just, looked at this story, was like, I see. So this is what is going on. And this is how how Dazai Osamu personally felt about Yuda and Jesus' relationship. So, like, my reaction was kind of dry when I was reading this one. I was almost, like, studying.
Like, from the 작품 해설, like, I saw that, like, Dazai Osamu is one of the few Japanese writers who actually was very into Christianity.
Doesn't it look like Dazai Osamu, like, relates himself with Yuda? But still, at the same time, I felt like he was also, like, kind of mirroring himself in Jesus as well.
Himself?
Yeah.
너무 자의식이 심각하게
But doesn't that relate to the very last sentence of 인간실격 as well? Because he was like a boy, angelic boy, maybe like looked like a god himself.
Yeah, see, he secretly loves himself. 진짜. Then why do you think so many young people these days in Korea are so into 인간실격? Is it just because Park Jung-min mentioned it?
And isn't it more, I think among young Korean people, 인간실격 is like a canon of
for them?
Canon of international literature, I think.
Is it because they can relate so much with Yojo? Is that the reason why they feel themselves they're very fragile and at the same time they're worth it? Like, they think they deserve better, and the situation and like 그 상황이 요새 별로 좋지 않아서, like, they're not, they're undervalued, and therefore they have this rage, and at the same time they have this shame. So maybe they resonate a lot with the character Yojo.
I think some of the readers can resonate with Yojo a lot. The one question that I have with myself regarding this novel is that whether I would be more resonating with Yojo if I read this book in my early 20s.
No.
But still, like, I cannot be sure. 잘 모르겠어요. He's so, like, unrelatable to me that I'm in, like, my early 30s and I cannot relate to him because all I can say to him is that just keep going, like, stop thinking.
Like, I just wonder, like, I think my feelings toward him could have been better if he tried to do something, at least,
Yeah.
Like, he tried to face or confront the problems that he has, 그랬다면 I can relate to him, but then 모르겠어. I've got a lot of stuff to do, and like I just don't have 여유 or space to just appreciate this whining without trying to solve any problems. That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. Do you know Bungo Stray Dogs?
No.
I've never watched this, like, manhwa or manga or animation, but I only heard of the title and the basic setting of the animation. It is I think you might laugh at it. Just a moment. I don't know. I don't know how to translate this otaku vocabulary in English. So just a moment. 그 Bungo Stray Dogs is a supernatural action manga set in modern-day Yokohama, where famous literary figures such as Atsushi Nakajima, Dazai Osamu, like Akutagawa Ryunosuke, battle each other using special abilities. 그러니까 한국어로 이 능력을 사용해서 일본의 대문호들이 싸운대요. 그게 내용이거든요.
What are you trying to tell me?
And 그리고 다자이 오사무 is one of the characters in this animation, and his ability in this animation is 모든 거를 무효화시킨대요.
맞네.
근데 I've heard that like his ability is to
최고다.
his ability is to nullify everything. I heard that before, and I just didn't understand it. But like, wow, like that can be some kind of like supernatural ability. And after reading No Longer Human, now I totally get it. where that ability came from. 근데 그러니까 약간 I heard some people joking about this like Stray Dogs thing, like something like, for example, if the setting was in Korea, Yoon Dong-ju Shin, the poet Yoon Dong-ju, his supernatural ability might something like 별 해는 밤, and suddenly like meteors like throwing out from all of a sudden from the sky. 그러니까 약간, isn't it kinda like a little bit always interesting that Japanese people can 모해화?
맞아.
모해화, the famous figures like 다자이 오사무. It is really interesting.
What would 이상's superpower? Bringing in like hundreds of ahes?
그럴 것
애들 막
같은데.
엄청 불러.
That makes sense.
진짜 독특해. 일본 사람들.
그러니까 너무 신기했어요.
맞아. They have their own charms.
Anyways, I just wanted to end the episode of No Longer Human with this, you know.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah. With my knowledge, like very little knowledge about the certain animation. That was it.
Oh my god. Yeah. But I still really like the fact that we had the chance to talk about this book, 인간실격.
Yeah. I enjoyed reading it.
Yeah. And I am, now like I could proud to say that I could let this go. Yeah. I
You
move
can
on.
now let
안녕.
go of Yozo.
요조상 사요나라.
사요나라. 다시
안녕.
보지 말자.
다시 보지 말자. 끔찍했다. 다시 보지 말자. Anyways.
So, yeah.
Our next book, it's also very random, and like just before my yoga I ran into 교보문고 and just bought the book No Word from Gurb, Gurb 연락 없다, by Spanish writer Eduardo Mendoza. I don't know the author and I've never read any of his book. So I'm very excited, and it turns out it's an SF.
Yeah.
Written in like early 90s, I think.
Yeah, 1991. It was released in that year.
Yeah.
And the background is, like, main background is Barcelona, Spain.
Yeah. I have zero knowledge of what this book is about or
Me
about
too.
the author, so yeah. We purely chose this book, because of 김민경 편집자님 again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 김민경 편집자님 is like, for me, like, my number one 여자 연예인 for me. 너무 좋아.
She is my favorite Moomin. Doesn't she look like a Moomin? I really like it.
Anyways,
Yeah.
That's it for today.
Yeah, that's it for today, and we're gonna call it a night.
And we'll come back with 구르부 연락 없다.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.
See you
Thanks
next
for listening.
time. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.